Well, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Brian Nystrom. I'm our Associate Athletic Director for External Relations here for UMD Athletics, and we're here today for the next announcement of our Director of Intercollegiate Athletics here on campus at UMD at James S. Malosky Stadium. So just want to give you a little lay of the land. Chancellor David McMillan is going to make an opening statement, and then he will introduce our new Director of Athletics, followed by a statement from our new Director of Athletics. We'll have an opportunity for the media to ask questions, as well as leave time at the end for some one-on-ones for those that would like to conduct that. So I suppose without further ado, I want to first introduce UMD's Chancellor, David McMillan.
Well, outstanding. Thank you, Brian, and welcome everyone. I am delighted to see this many of our athletic staff, our campus community, all here today for this exciting announcement of the next Director of Intercollegiate Athletics here at UMD. Also like to thank the local media that are here. Of course, this is an important institution in this town, and Bulldog Athletics is super important, so we're thrilled that you're all here to cover this key leadership transition. So, it's my privilege and honor to announce to you that the University of Minnesota Duluth has hired Forrest Karr as UMD's Director of Intercollegiate Athletics. We are thrilled to welcome Forrest to guide UMD's nationally recognized athletic programs. His experience and values are a perfect fit to continue the excellence of Bulldog Athletics in the classroom, in the community, and in competition, which, as you all know, is one of our great and heartfelt and I think well-followed taglines here. This decision and process was led primarily by Chancellor Lynn Black in close collaboration with President Joan Gable. I'm deeply grateful for their involvement and support during the search as we sought the next leader for our Bulldog student athletes. I'd also like to thank the Athletic Director Advisory Committee, which was chaired by Dr. Steve Castleberry, and I think Steve's here somewhere, isn't he? There he is, right back there. Steve, thank you. You're always here when we need you. And really importantly, I want to slow down and make sure we honor the gravity of this, but thank Interim Athletic Director Karen Strami. Thank you. Karen's generous willingness to delay her retirement was amazing, and she's brought a career's worth of experience and expertise to this institution, as you all know, and she stepped up when we needed her most to take the leadership reins once again, and was instrumental not only in leading Bulldog Athletics through this transition period, but her deep engagement in the search process. So, Karen, a grateful university stands in honor of you. Now it's time to talk about Forrest. Enough about everybody else, right? Forrest brings to UMD more than 20 years of experience working in collegiate athletics, 17 as an athletic director. Most recently, since 2012, he has served as Director of Athletics at Northern Michigan University, overseeing 18 intercollegiate athletic programs, a national training site, and a comprehensive recreation program that services the community and the student body. He has shown tremendous leadership in evolving the Wildcats athletic programs and enhancing the experience for their student athletes while maintaining the community's support and storied traditions. During Forrest's time, Northern Michigan has seen several significant facilities projects which have impacted all of NMU's intercollegiate and national training site programs. He's initiated 2 strategic plans, led the department through a rebranding process, saw multiple conference team championships and individual national champions, all, and this is super important, while being highly involved in shaping student athlete health, safety, and wellness. His educational background: he received his undergraduate degree from Notre Dame and he graduated from the University of Wisconsin Law School. Make him a thoughtful and steady leader who will be instrumental in guiding the Bulldogs through future challenges and helping us realize and capture the opportunities ahead. His passion for student athletes and those around him will not only create a positive environment for this department, but within the campus community and throughout Bulldog country. Most importantly, Forrest believes in the core component of the student athlete, with the student, note, being first. They're not athlete students, they're student athletes, He recognizes it is our job to mentor and educate our student athletes who will one day inspire this region or others and become the next generation of leaders. Forrest is a leader by example, is a prominent presence on the national athletic landscape, having served on the NCAA Campus Sexual Violence Implementation Task Force, and has been a member of the NCAA Drug Test Appeal Subcommittee since 2013. In addition, Forrest chaired the NCAA Ice Hockey Rules Committee for 2 years and has served in various conference leadership positions, which I won't go on to alliterate all those, but we're really glad we're getting a guy with a lot of experience. Let me close here. We are confident that Forrest is an exceptional fit for the University of Minnesota Duluth and our Bulldog Athletics program. We welcome him and his family, his wife Karr, his daughters Kalia and Colette, to our home and welcome them here very soon. I'm excited to announce to all of you today, Bulldogs, new Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Forrest Karr. Why don't you come on up here, Forrest? All right, the microphone is yours, sir. I get to keep this, right?
All right, thanks everyone for being here. It's great that this day has come. I've been thinking about it for several days, and I couldn't be more excited. The drive over, had some road construction and had some challenges, but it just went by like that, and I was anticipating what it would be like to be here in this moment. It's better than I thought. I'm really appreciative and grateful to be here. So. First, I want to start by thanking President Gable, Chancellor McMillan, and Chancellor Black, as well as Dr. Steve Castleberry and Karen Strami, and the entire search committee for this incredible opportunity to be part of UMD and the greater Duluth community. Let's give them a hand, everybody that's been part of it. And then there's been several people behind the scenes that have made this process really smooth and really helped me every step of the way, and I want to recognize them. Wendy Larrabee, Carly Williams, and Brian Nystrom for all their help. So thank you. I'm not sure if they're all here or not, but it's really appreciated. And also I want to take the opportunity to thank my wife, Karr Brunk. These jobs in college sports, whether it's an athletic director, a coach, anybody, all the way down to every intern in the department, they care about what they do and they put their heart and soul into it. The jobs are all encompassing. They become your life, and it takes a support network. It takes an inner circle. It takes people in your corner to be successful. And for me, this new chapter for our family would not be possible without Karr's support and encouragement. I've had just a really nice time over the last, I guess, 24 hours now, hearing from so many people, and I haven't been able to respond to them. And I'm looking forward to getting some downtime and being able to do that. A few that stand out to me. My college hockey coach, Dave Poulin, sent me a nice text of support last night, and we went back and forth a little bit. And I wrote to him. I was kind of joking. I said, it turns out that being a goalie was perfect preparation for being an administrator. You're doing well if you can find a way to stop 90% of the potential negative outcomes that come your way. So he got a kick out of that, but it did make me reflect on my own student-athlete experience in college, and just reinforce that that's what I want for the student-athletes here at the University of Minnesota Duluth. So it was a really timely thing to hear from my college coach. There's so many things to talk about the University of Minnesota Duluth Athletic Department and all the strengths. As I was going through this process, I listed out all the different strengths and opportunities. And they're big picture things, and they really stand out, and I know most of the people here know them, but I wanted to list a few. So UMD is a highly respected university with very strong academics. That's number one. This athletic department, for many semesters on end, has had a cumulative GPA of over 3.4. And that's impressive. When I look over the years at teams that are successful, so teams that have success competitively on the field or the court, the ice, very often those teams that are doing well in the classroom are also the teams that are having success athletically. So the fact that this department prioritizes academics and is having so much success in athletics and recruiting that type of student athlete tells me that we have the foundation to continue to have a tremendous amount of success. I've always considered the University of Minnesota Duluth one of the premier multi-divisional schools in the country. There's a history of success across many sports. Right now, there are exceptional, high-achieving coaches in the department. I had the chance to meet most of them just a little while ago here and really enjoyed those conversations. Turns out I have a lot of connections and know a lot of people in common with many of the coaches. Strong, long-standing healthcare partnerships, experienced medical personnel, the Bulldog productions, the high-quality streaming that's done, the facilities that have been updated, the ticket sales. There's this supportive family environment that, again, I've been told that, but I just saw it here over the last hour or two. People coming from maternity leave just to come and meet me, and I got to meet the young baby. It reminds me of where I'm coming from. At Northern Michigan last weekend, our head men's basketball coach got married to our head women's lacrosse coach. I hired them both, so I feel somewhat responsible. But it's the same kind of feel, and that's important. That's where I want to be. And the community support and the passionate fan base. It's just really clear to me that the donors, the corporate partners, the alums, community members, everybody that makes up Bulldog Country is such an important part of the success and such a big reason why this department has done so well. Some of our big picture priorities, some things that I'm going to want to focus on, and that the coaches will hear me talk about this quite a bit. But I have a mentor at the University of Wisconsin, recently retired Deputy Athletic Director Walter Dickey. And he talks about having a culture in place that focuses on teaching student athletes to be poised to learn so that they can grow for the rest of their professional lives and become the next generation of leaders. And I think that's a good way to look at what we do. I think it's hand in hand with the faculty on campus, that if we can teach all of these student athletes to be poised to learn, that's going to set them up for success down the road. Some of the areas that I'm going to really be looking into right away, and I was already starting to question people and ask about and talk about, because I want to know more. I want to be a sponge and absorb everything. But student athlete health, safety, and well-being, critically important. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, critically important. The student athlete and fan experience, critically important. And then all the pieces that go along with revenue generation to support the athletes. So branding, marketing, media rights, working with supporters. So those are some of kind of the main things we'll start with. As far as my vision, I'm not sure that I know enough yet to really have that fully framed in my mind, but we have an opportunity here to go through a strategic planning process, probably a sustainable, integral planning process, and really look at things and talk about where we want to go. focus on what's good for Minnesota Duluth, what will advance Minnesota Duluth. But I do like to think of, I've been fortunate to work at public universities, which I really value. And I like to think of public universities kind of in the same way that I've heard the Green Bay Packers organization referred to, kind of their organizational philosophy. It doesn't matter who you talk to, from President Murphy to the entire staff. They always talk about, the Green Bay Packers brand being a community asset. I think the same thing about the University of Minnesota Duluth. It's a community asset. It's partially funded by taxpayer dollars. And so what that means is that we in the Department of Athletics have a responsibility to steward that asset appropriately. I think if we always keep that in mind, we'll make the right decisions. And I want to, kind of lay the groundwork that that's going to be a priority for us. And so I think I'll leave it at that. I have some other thoughts, but I know I've been talking a lot, and I want to make sure to leave an opportunity for anybody who has any questions for me, and I'm happy to be here for as long as we need, and then I'm also happy to talk to people one-on-one after. So, any questions?
Fire away.
I'm Alicia, I'm with WDIO. I just wanted to ask, what about UMD Athletics really inspired you to take this position?
Well, there's a couple pieces. There's the professional side of it, which is kind of the long history of success that I mentioned across many sports. We compete. Northern Michigan University competes against the University of Minnesota Duluth in non-conference games regularly. And so I've been able to kind of witness those things firsthand over the years. And when I watch those games, I think it's easy as fans at times to get really emotionally wrapped up in the wins and losses. But I like to watch things like how are the coaches coaching and how do they treat their players. And how do the coaches conduct themselves or act or react when it doesn't go their way? And I just have a lot of respect for these coaches at Duluth. And I've just said that to myself time and time again, that these are people that I would like to work with. And so that's a big part of it on the professional side. And then personally, there are some opportunities for our daughters here that we're really excited about. Both in school and some of their activities. So there are a lot of reasons that I could go through, but we're very, very excited about it.
Kevin Moore, KBGR CBS. You just mentioned your daughters moving from Michigan Tech to UMD. What was it about UMD that not only made you believe that this was a good fit for yourself, but also your family?
Yeah, I mean, I could go into every activity that we're passionate about. I will list a few. So I'm a member of the ski patrol and was up in Alaska and have been for the last 10 years in Marquette. And we have this ski hill close to Marquette called Marquette Mountain. It's about 8 minutes out of town, and similar here in Duluth. And that's something that our family loves. My wife really enjoys mountain biking. Younger daughter's into soccer and hockey. We think it'll be really exciting for her to be able to play with all girls and play on an all-girls team. Can't do that where we are. The youth symphony is really exciting for our older daughter. I just think that there are a lot of different pieces that should work really well for our family. Yep.
Did you arrange to have pasties shipped in from our
That's funny that you said that. We just had one. Our older daughter was down at camp. Younger daughter was kind of being an only child there for a few days, getting some extra attention, and she had the request to go over to, it's called Gene K's Pasty Shop, so I did that with her. I think it might have been 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago, but yeah, that's a good one.
Forrest, I'm curious, in your time in goal, did you ever play a game against the Bulldogs, do you remember?
I don't think so.
We were in different conferences.
Yeah. So we were in the older version of the CCHA, and Duluth was in the WCHA. We played in a tournament at Mariucci, but boy, I'd have to go back. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think we played against Brown University and somebody else. I don't think we played Duluth. So, yeah. I do have I have a friend who's a dentist in town here that I'm looking forward to connecting with, who was a teammate of mine, and a family friend growing up that played for Duluth, and he's of course been texting, and yeah, so that's exciting.
You talked about adding women's lacrosse at Northern Michigan, and we talked a year ago about potential women's hockey there. Just first day on the job, but the number of sports here, any thoughts of additions, subtractions, or do you like the roster of what you're inheriting?
Yeah, I think it's a really good mix, a good makeup. It's nice that the sports are spread across all 3 seasons. The schools that I've been at in Alaska, Fairbanks, we weren't able to have spring sports, so we had an exemption from the NCAA and didn't offer any. And then at Northern Michigan, we have the second half of the men's and women's golf season, women's lacrosse and outdoor track and field. But it's not as busy at that time of year, so I'm looking forward to the other spring sports and being able to do that. As far as adding sports or going down that path, that's something that at Northern Michigan University, I was just asked to present, some numbers and some ideas, and we studied and looked at things and what would be the right fit. So what sports are growing nationally. Women's lacrosse is a great example because we have the Superior Dome, so they can play spring season indoor. And I can tell you that that's been incredibly rewarding to be part of that. It was, for every one of these athletes, their sport is what they're passionate about, and it's what they've been doing for most of them since they were 5 years old, and it's what they've known, and it's a kind of part of their identity. And so we've gone from, I think, about 336 varsity athletes in 2013. We had 278 NCAA athletes and 336 varsity athletes to about 556 this year, going into this year. So for me, when I kind of reflect on that and think about it, it's just really neat to think that every year there are 220 kind of additional students at the university that probably wouldn't be there otherwise, and who are doing what they love to do and having success at Northern Michigan. So that was a really neat thing to be part of. I don't know if at any time in my career I'll ever be part of something like that again, but it was something that was the right thing at the right time, and it's just fun. It's fun when you walk by those kids, and now the team's been practicing for 5 years, and it's just part of the structure of the department, and it's the student athletes who are there, they assume it's always been there. So yeah, so that was fun. But as far as the sports that Duluth has, the mix, I just really like it. I think it's a good mix for this size institution and in the Northern Sun. Yeah, we talk about that sometimes, and we try to figure out what the Superior Dome would cost to construct today, and it's astronomical, right? But yeah, it's a wonderful facility that we have there, and it allows us to do a lot of things. So I appreciate the people who came before me that had the foresight to do that. But I'll tell you what, though, this view right here is really incredible. Like when I walked in, I didn't know what to expect, and it's pretty neat to see this. I'm really looking forward to that first football game.
You have to sit outside for your football game and check the wind blowing up.
Yeah. Get the real experience. That gives us the home field advantage, right? Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of sports that are growing rapidly nationwide, soccer is experiencing quite a boom. Boys soccer in high school up here is really good. UMD doesn't have a men's soccer.
Yep. Yeah, that's an interesting one. The Northern Sun does not sponsor men's soccer as a conference sport. So St. Cloud State University added it, I think a couple of years ago now, and they actually participate as an affiliate member over in the GLIAC conference, the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. So St. Cloud State has actually been competing against our team and the other GLIAC schools. They're a member of our conference for just that one sport for men's soccer. But as of right now, the Northern Sun sponsors the sport for women's soccer, but not for men's. And so you always take those things into consideration when you're looking to make sure it's the right fit in the conference.